they diverge, then intersect again. And maybe sometimes they'll take us home again, to the ones we love, even if it's only a memory.
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again next Friday at 9, 8 Central. And of course, I'll see you each weeknight for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night.
Live from Rhinelander, this is News Watch 12 at 10. The Northwoods' best news with Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, meteorologist Chase Ropenack, and Saul Meyer with sports. News from where you live starts now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Carisu. With just over 1 month until Election Day, presidential hopefuls are out on the campaign trail making the final push in swing states. The economy continues to be top of mind following today's better-than-expected jobs report. NBC's Bree Jackson has the details.
With just over a month to go until Election Day, there's good news on the economy. The U.S. added 254,000 jobs in September, bringing the unemployment rate down slightly to 4.1%. While speaking from the White House briefing room for the very first time, President Biden taking a With just over a month to go until Election Day, there's good news on the economy. The U.S. added 254,000 jobs in September, bringing the unemployment rate down slightly to 4.1%. While speaking from the White House briefing room for the very first time, President Biden taking a victory lap.
Simple fact is we've gone from economy in crisis to literally having the strongest economy in the world.
The economy and inflation remain top issues on the campaign trail. During a Michigan rally, Vice President Harris touted the economic progress made under the Biden-Harris administration.
Over the last 3.5 years, our nation has seen historic small business creation as an example of that focus.
The unexpectedly high jobs total comes on the heels of a tentative deal to end the port strike that threatened U.S. supplies of automobiles and other goods. Both positive signs for the economy. Former President Trump downplaying the strong jobs report and falsely claiming this.
The illegal migrants that are coming into the country are getting the jobs.
While visiting states devastated by Hurricane Helene, former President Trump bashed the current administration's response to the storm.
A lot of people missing. It's a bad one. This was a bad one. Bad storm, maybe the worst.
Mr. Trump returns to Butler, Pennsylvania Saturday, the same site where his first assassination attempt took place. This weekend's rally will look much different than in July, with noticeably tighter security. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Chief Meteorologist Jeff Fuller joins us now with the first glance at our weather, and it is finally the weekend, Jeff.
Yeah, mostly 60s out there today. We're going to go for 70 tomorrow, followed by some big changes on Sunday. But first, some rainfall out there, too, on Saturday night. Tonight, though, looking up to the sky because there is a chance that the northern lights could be out this evening. No reports out there yet, but there could be in the area a G3 tonight on a G5, so a pretty good chance of that happening. Look north and west away from city lights tonight. All right, highs today, 66 here in Rhinelander, 68 for Wausau. It was comfy. The average high temperature is 61. We are all above that today and likely tomorrow as well. Current, though, it's getting kind of cool. 40 in Rhinelander, 38 for Tomahawk. So many low temperatures tonight down near freezing, kind of like it was last night, right? As there's lots of clear skies out there for now. But to the west of us, there's a little something, something. That's this system right here. That will likely bring us showers and storms tomorrow evening. I have not said that for a while. Our forecast, though, tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low temperatures down near 36. Your full forecast is coming up. Austin.
Thanks, Jeff. And the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, today said the agency is on the ground in regions ravaged by Hurricane Helene and continues to assist victims. According to the agency, more than $45 million in flexible upfront funding has been provided to thousands of storm survivors. More than 11 million meals and more than 12.5 million liters of water have been distributed to victims. In addition, the agency says it has provided more than 400,000 tarps and 150 generators to storm survivors. Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida last week as a Category 4 storm and then moved on to devastate parts of Georgia, the Carolinas, and other states. And Marathon County sheriffs are helping to deliver supplies to those affected by Hurricane Helene. Today, the employees of the department brought a trailer load of supplies to Anago that will soon be taken to Asheville, North Carolina. Carl's Transport will deliver the supplies to the residents. The Sheriff's Department would like to thank Police Lights of Christmas, Anago radio station 89Q, and Hannah Borski for their help. And a Wisconsin man is facing charges following an apartment fire. Police said the fire started in his unit and he did not alert anyone, putting his neighbors in danger. He also left the scene not wearing any clothes. Kendall Keys has more.
There is fire and flames from the unit. Looks like one of the lower apartment units completely engulfed.
Firefighters battled intense flames at a Delafield apartment building September 12th, even rescuing one person.
We have one victim and one dog been removed from Unit 7.
Police determining the fire started in Stephen Anderson's unit. A neighbor telling investigators they saw Anderson leaving the scene naked without alerting anyone.
If there's any available units on scene right now, if you could have him fan out, start looking for his, he was last seen naked.
According to a criminal complaint, Anderson moved into the complex 5 days before the fire. In that time, multiple residents told investigators he threatened to stab them and their dogs. Another resident said Anderson left demonic-type messages in the building. Another neighbor says he spotted Anderson carrying tree branches, plywood, and 2x4 lumber into his apartment. One witness telling police the fire was, quote, no accident, saying he wanted to harm us.
Suspect's going to be wearing nothing but cardboard wrapped around him.
Still weeks after the fire, there's melted siding, broken glass, even pieces of the roof piled up on one of the back porches. We know all of the units on this side of the building are uninhabitable. As crews work to restore the building, Delafield police say the state fire marshal is helping them with an investigation expected to last several months.
And Lincoln County is getting ready to celebrate over a century of existence in the Badger State. We'll share how they're doing it after weather with Jeff when we come back.
You've probably seen all these negative ads against me. Well, here's the deal. They are designed to tear us apart. But here's the truth. My life's work has been fighting on behalf of others. It's why I became a prosecutor, district attorney, and attorney general. I took on drug cartels and human traffickers to protect our communities. Look, everyone is tired of the petty, destructive politics. Let's turn the page and chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is open throughout the year. Dine in with a great view of Duck Lake. Carryout is also available. Enjoy roasted chicken, shrimp, burgers, pizza, Friday night fish fry, and Saturday night prime rib. Great happy hour deals Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and live music on the weekends. Sweetwater Spirits and Resort is family friendly and opens at 11 a.m. daily. Find us on Facebook to view nightly specials.
Menards will help you stack up big savings when insulating your home with Knauf. A properly insulated home can save you up to 15% on your utility bill, all while increasing your family's comfort. Get this roll of R13 insulation for just $12.99 after 11% rebate. Plus, save even more money with additional federal tax credits on qualifying energy efficiency home improvement purchases.
Save big money at Menards.
I thought these were $6.
In 2019, but not since Biden and Kamala.
That's a little jarring.
Just like housing, fuel, even beer.
Tom.
Sorry, Mom, but that's why I voted against the wasteful Washington spending, and I'm working to preserve more of your paycheck and put the good stuff back on your table.
Keep the change.
And no tax on tips.
Finally, a good deal.
Just wait till November. I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
learn about your local free food programs. Call the Family Food Helpline.
All right, let's start here. A frost advisory in effect for parts of the area tonight. Cool temperatures down near 30 to 35 for lows will give us some frost in the blue shaded counties later on this evening. After highs today of 66 here in Rhinelander, 68 for Wausau. Very comfortable air. Again, the average high being 61. We're all above that today and will be tomorrow, but probably not so much on Sunday as cooler temperatures are on the way. Already 37 in the cold spot there in Tomahawk, 46 for Mosinee. So, again, many low temperatures tonight, probably around 30 to 35 degrees with that frost in the area once again because the dew points are incredibly low. This very dry air locked in place still, the 6th day in a row of this. So this will begin to break down, though, tomorrow, allowing for some rain showers to be back in the picture for us about this time tomorrow night. Temperature-wise, though, 71 tomorrow, kind of breezy, but then much colder, kind of chilly weather for us on Sunday with some football in there as well, right? 56. And then 64 for Monday. Then we're right back up again. We're talking mid-70s again by this time next week. I know, right? Out there today, though, lots of sunshine, a gorgeous day, a bit of a breeze out there, too. The colors are beginning to peak in a few spots as well. So a gorgeous fall day for us. Tomorrow, same story, but a slightly more windy across our region for tomorrow. You're going to feel that wind gusting around 20 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. All eyes tonight, though, on the stars because the northern lights could be out tonight. A G2 to a G3, so kind of in the middle there. The top of the scale is a G5. So look north and west away from city lights, and you may just see them out there tonight. The skies are clear, so good viewing for that, right? Clear out there now, but tomorrow we'll get some increasing clouds tomorrow evening, and that guy right there, that's going to catch us tomorrow night, likely with a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms tomorrow evening, about this time tomorrow night. And again, I haven't said that for a while, but here we go. Our best chance for rain in a while around here, about 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. It'll quickly get out of here, and sunshine is back in the forecast for us on Sunday. Tonight, though, lots of clear skies. Some frost is likely. Low temperatures down near 36. For tomorrow, it's Saturday. Lots of sunshine, a bit breezy. High temperatures reaching for 70. We're probably going to do it. Then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast includes some cooler temperatures for Sunday, a bit breezy in there as well. Monday, 64. Tuesday, 63. And then right back up again into the 70s Thursday and Friday of next week. Austin?
Thanks, Jeff. Lincoln County is getting ready to celebrate over a century of existence in the Badger State. Lincoln County was founded back in 1874. To embrace the 150 years of Lincoln County, Elizabeth Peranto, the program assistant for land services at Lincoln County, started a historic hunt.
The intention of the history hunt is for local residents to maybe discover locations that they have never been to before or maybe didn't even know existed. Otherwise, tourists in the area, maybe they just want to become more familiar with Lincoln County.
To complete this hunt, residents can find a game card at either the Merrill or Tomahawk Chamber of Commerce. And a local community is returning the favor of one staff member who was recently diagnosed with cancer. We'll share how they are doing it when we come back.
This message is to all homeowners, businesses, and churches that need a new roof.
Most people know American Quality Homes as Wisconsin's premier roofing experts.
As remodelers, we see a lot of roofs. We have found that 90% of roofs we inspect have mistakes. As for pricing, big roofing companies are charging way too much. So at American Quality Homes, we've decided to do something about it.
We're making a pledge to all homeowners who need a new roof. Our pledge is simple. 1, your roof will be done right the first time. 2, you will get the very best value guaranteed. And 3, all of our projects are backed with an insurance policy.
You need an AQH roof. Go to aqhroofs.com. That's aqhroofs.com.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
This is Bidenomics.
2/3 of registered voters believe the economy is getting worse.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
The rising gas prices, food prices really wallop the black community.
Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us.
That is called Bidenomics.
Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery.
Violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. Doesn't even want to.
That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back.
And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orton, and I approve this message.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today, we'll have another edition of Race Watch 12 with Kate Eidemann.
And if you're going to be driving around, you're good to go. Roll down those windows. We're going to see warm temperatures and lots of sunshine in the forecast.
One staff member of the Rhinelander School District had dedicated her career to helping students. Now in her time of need, the community is returning the favor. Holly Kloss has been an educational sign language interpreter in the district since 2009. Within the past year, she has been diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer, underwent a double mastectomy, and is currently in chemotherapy. The Hodag volleyball team and HOSA club dedicated their annual Pink Game to raising money for Kloss.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua. Two friends were in a boat fishing and had great luck. One said to the other, "We should mark the spot." So he leaned over and brought a mark on the side of the boat. His buddy said, "You fool, that won't work." "Why?" said the other. "Because," his buddy said, "we may not get in the same boat tomorrow." Fishing in Ontario, our first entry, Zach caught this 32 3/4 inch walleye on a jig and leech. Way to go on that big old fish, Zach. Steve, this week's second entry, was trolling on the bay of Green Bay when he caught this 29-inch walleye. That's a big old fish there. Great catch, Steve. Bentley has our final catch of the day, a northern pike caught on the Wisconsin River in Tomahawk using a yellow and black curly tail. Bentley was just enjoying some fish time after school and got himself a big old fish. All right, anglers, for your chance to win a fish mount from Norling Taxidermy Studio in Rhinelander, enter the Big Old Fish contest at WJFW.com or send us your photo and description of your catch. Brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua. Happy casting!
He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change.
I made sure that they changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access.
It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's sex change.
The power that I had, I used it in a way that was about pushing for the movement, frankly, and the agenda.
Kamala's agenda is they, them, not you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I worked as a truck driver for 36 years.
And then one day I got this letter.
Your retirement will be cut.
Will be cut in half.
You don't forget something like that.
Every paycheck we put money away. But because of Wall Street greed, boom, it was gone.
But Tammy Baldwin saw what they were doing and wrote a bill to save our retirement.
Then she fought like hell to pass it.
What Tammy Baldwin did for our families, you don't forget something like that.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Yiling Zhang's policies will crush Wausau. Massive tax hikes, gas and grocery prices skyrocketing even more. And Zhang is part of an extreme group that wants to defund the police and decriminalize all drugs. Families struggling with inflation and unsafe streets. Yiling Zhang, just too dangerous for Wausau. Fortunately, Pat Snyder always delivers, helping families and seniors with rising costs. Pat Snyder also secured funding for local law enforcement and expanded healthcare access. Pat Snyder for Assembly.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. I cannot in good conscience endorse Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's former highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. We don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is too big a risk for America.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Friday Night Blitz is brought to you by Merrill Steel, Rock Oil Refining, and Sweetwater Spirits and Resort. Your Blitz starts now.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Saul Meyer, and that is my partner, Drew Chelly. Drew, the season is starting to wind down.
Yeah, that's right, Saul. There are 4 teams that have established themselves as powerhouses in the CW Small Conference.
Abbotsford, Edgar, Iowa Scandinavia, and Auburndale are all at least 5-1 this season, with the Falcons and Wildcats undefeated in the conference.
Iowa Scandinavia's only lost Abbotsford. Auburndale's only lost Edgar. And now it's time for these 4 teams to really start playing each other, and there was bound to be some high-quality football this week.
That's right, Drew. Edgar's hosting Iowa Scandinavia, Abbotsford hosting Auburndale. So one of these games has to be our Friday Night Blitz game of the week. Which one was it? Will Harrelson is there to give us the answer. Will?
2 teams with state aspirations squared off in our Friday Night Blitz game of the week as 6-0 Abbotsford faced off against 5-1 Auburndale. This game had massive implications for the conference, with the winner getting that much closer to a conference championship. Both these teams are known for their offenses, but early in this one, it was all about the defenses, as neither team would score in the first quarter. However, the run game would wake up for the Eagles as they would march down the field deep into Falcons territory, and that would set up Blake Rabb on the quarterback draw and as he takes it in. Auburndale head coach Jay Anderson spoke about the fast start.
Getting 2 scores up on them, and the confidence, and it was really big, I think, to play from in front with them and getting that lead. That was very key.
They didn't stop there either. After an Abbotsford turnover, Auburndale gets it right back, and they don't look back as Colton Wheeler takes it and goes all the way to the end zone for another score. Coach Anderson spoke about the impact of their run game.
Colton Wheeler did a great job as kind of our number 1, or they call him feature back, and then Nathan Van Wy can come in and go with a little 2-back and get the defense's eyes on Colton and running some cross-action run plays to get him some good power running too.
In the second half, it was more the same for the Eagles as stout defense set up their offense. Then in the third quarter, Wheeler gets the ball again and does the rest as he jumps to the outside and will go into the score. Auburndale goes on to win this one 28-7. This is what Coach Anderson had to say about getting the win.
I'm so proud of our players here to come here with this kind of focus against this opponent, and to hold them to just 7 points is really amazing.
So the Eagles get the huge win and improve to 6-1 on the season, and now will look to bring this momentum into next week as they take on Assumption. That's going to do it for now. Reporting here in Abbotsford, I'm Will Harrelson, Newswatch 12.
Thanks for that, Will. We'll make sure to give you all the score from the Iowa Scandinavia Edgar game later on in the show. For now, we've got some great Northern Conference football. Rhinelanders hosted Mosinee in the Hodags homecoming game, where they can also hurt Mosinee's chances at winning their 4th straight conference title. So let's see if they could do it, or if Mosinee would stay in contention to defend. Third quarter, big-time special teams play from the Hodags. Miles Eagleson punts a boot that Mosinee player fumbles, and Grady DeBay falls on it to get the Hodags the ball. But Mosinee got the ball back, and Treve Stoffel is going to find Brady Locken for the touchdown to extend the lead, and he throws the horns down. In the SEC, that's a penalty. For Newswatch 12, that gets you a shout-out from the OU grad. Boomer! All right, Drew, I was waiting for you to say sooner. Looks like you're not going to do that. Looking like one of those OU quarterbacks, Tariq Stoffel that I was seeing back in the day. Pump fake, scramble, score, touchdown, Mosinee. They're going to go on to win this thing 26-6.
Yeah, you're not going to get me to say Boomer Sooner anytime soon, but you will get me to take us to Minocqua, where Anago was on the road taking on Lakeland Union. We start in the first quarter. T-Birds near midfield. Declan McQuaid going deep. He drops a bomb right in the breadbasket. Evan Zock brings it in. Lakeland on the board first. Let's go to the second quarter. Red Robins, they're moving. Colton Tomei going to take this one himself. And this kid, he spends a good amount of time in the end zone. He knows where the camera is, and he knows that's a blitz material play. Now from the backfield, it's Evan Zock again. He takes the handoff, finds an opening, and he is off to the races. He scores. Lakeland Union, they win this one 36-33.
Let's stay in the GNC, where Medford looks to remain unbeaten in conference play against Tomahawk. In the first quarter, story of the season, Paxton Rothmeyer, one of the best running backs in the state, powers his way over the goal line. Referee says touchdown, and the Raiders are up. Still in the first quarter, Cash Olson rolls left. He's going to get a jump pass to Landon Seymour, and that's a good completion for the Hatchets. Second quarter, Rothmeyer does it again. He sneaks his way into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Raiders are going to go on to win this thing 38-7. Let's check out some more football scores from around our area. First, Stratford took to the road and beat Marathon 49-0 to stay undefeated on the year. Next, Edgar hosted Iowa Scandinavia. Big matchup there. Wildcats stay hot, getting the 26-6 win at home. Smash took down Eau Claire North on the road 35-14. And finally, a non-conference showdown. DC Everest fell to Chippewa Falls 41-36 on a failed Hail Mary attempt as time expired. What a bunch of fun games we saw tonight, Drew, but we're not done yet. Stay tuned. The Blitz is back after the break.
In a country where dreams are woven into the fabric of the nation, Rock Oil is driven by the spirit of the American dream. Environmentally, we take pride in our oil processing technology and related waste recycling. Fueled by passion, innovation, and patriotism, we're proud to be an American company.
He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change.
I made sure that they changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access.
It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's sex change.
The power that I had, I used it in a way that was about pushing for the movement, frankly, and the agenda.
Kamala's agenda is they, them, not you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I thought these were $6.
In 2019, but not since Biden and Kamala.
That's a little jarring.
Just like housing, fuel, even beer.
Tom.
Sorry, Mom. But that's why I voted against the wasteful Washington spending, and I'm working to preserve more of your paycheck and put the good stuff back on your table.
Keep the change.
And no tax on tips.
Finally, a good deal.
Just wait till November. I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Serving our community and our environment, Rock Oil Refining in Stratford specializes in turning used motor oil and antifreeze back into pure raw materials and custom finished products. Premium quality, affordable prices, environmentally responsible. Rock Oil Refining.
Builder Service. We are your hometown hardware store. Plumbing, electrical, paint, automotive, keys, tools, lawn and garden. We're more than just a lumberyard. Highway 45 in Elko. Friday Night Blitz on Newswatch 12. Your Blitz starts now.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. I'm Saul Meyer, and that is my partner, Drew Chelly. Drew, we already saw a great bunch of games tonight.
Yeah, great first slate in the last block, but we're not done yet. We let the 11-man teams get the night started, and now we got some 8-man teams who are out there ready to fight tonight.
Lambeau has looked great this year, and they've got their conference finale tonight against Niagara, with Goodman Pembine forfeiting next week's game against the Rebels.
That's right, so Leona Wabino, they need a win at home to stay in contention for what is a very tight race for the conference title. Rebels on offense to get the night going. Cooper Albrecht with the screen pass to Boone Van Oyen, one of the best names around if you ask me. The Rebel Junior going to pick up 10 yards and a first down. Back comes Niagara. They're going to go right up the middle to Tommy Martin. It's a big kid. He's tough to tackle. He's going to break off a big run all the way into Rebels territory, and he would pick up a first down. Leona Wabino would get a stop, and they would go right back down the field on offense. Albrecht going to go QB keeper, and he is just going to cruise back and forth up and down the field. He's going to walk this one into the end zone. Leona Wabino, they keep it rolling. They win this one 40-20.
Let's check out some more 8-man scores from around our area. First off, Newman Catholic took to the road and beat Port Edwards 20-16. Almond Bancroft got to the road and beat Menominee Indians 66-0. And finally, finishing off the road dominance for 8-man is Ribley taking down Flambeau 50-6.
Let's go to Crandon. The Cardinals are on their home field taking on Crivets on their homecoming night. We're going to start in the third quarter. Crandon 4th and 2 in their own territory. Let's just go for it. Cruz Palabicki right up the middle, and that would pick up a Cardinal first down. Back comes Crivets on offense. They're going to pitch the ball to Stephen Allard, and this junior is 6'3". He is tough to tackle. He's going to get to the sideline and make his way deep into Crandon territory. Crivets would end this drive in the end zone from a yard out. Brody McNeil going to punch this one in. Crivets would rally in the second half and win this one 21-18.
Our final area score of the night, the Wisconsin Wendigo were in action, playing host to the Anchorage Wolverines in their first game back from the NAHL Showcase. The Wendigo have been hot this season. They stayed that way. They take down the Wolverines, winning this one on their home ice 4-1 to move to 7-1 on the year. They'll be in action next Friday in Chippewa for a 2-game road series with the Steel. What a great bunch of games we saw tonight, Drew.
That's right. So football season is starting to wrap up. There's some big matches close to as we close out the regular season in just 2 weeks.
That's wild. Well, that's all the time we got for the Friday Night Blitz tonight. Be sure to tune in to the Friday Night Blitz every Friday at 10 for all your local high school sports action. For Drew Chelly, I'm Saul Meyer. Thank y'all, and y'all watching at home, have a great night.
A hard day's work makes for a good night's rest. A good night's rest calls for a good cup of coffee. Some good coffee prepares it for the workday ahead. That workday promises dirt, stains, and a good sweat. A good sweat shows you had a hard day's work. And when that day is done, you do it all again tomorrow. And you live for tomorrow. Because tomorrow you can do it better and build it bigger.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
This is Bidenomics. Bidenomics.
2/3 of registered voters believe the economy is getting worse.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
The rising gas prices, food prices really wallop the black community.
Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us.
That is called Bidenomics.
Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Get an 11% rebate on everything in Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Design your door your way with our free step-by-step design program. Or choose from our great in-stock selection. This exterior door is $279.99 after rebate. Let the fresh autumn air in with a Larson Storm Door. Larson Split View Storm Doors feature a retractable screen when not in use. Get a Prairie View Split View Storm Door for only $274.99 after 11%.